Hello, and welcome to our Thriving Past 50 series. I'm Faye Hickson, founder of My Gold Nest, Money Doré. And today I'll be introducing you to Val. We caught up with Val last summer in her home in Sussex in the UK. Val is one of my original inspirations for this series. She's a vibrant, so let's say 75 plus year old who really demonstrates the importance of community when it comes to aging well and aging in place. Val has built a second family around her, always there to support her neighbours, and they in turn have joined her big family. So we'll be hearing from her again in another edition. She'll be speaking to us about how she faced and overcame some specific health and personal challenges. But today we'll just share a few extracts from that interview on what community means to her. So hello Val, and thank you so much for agreeing to speak with me today.
You're very welcome.
So I have a few questions. I'd love to understand more about, so what I'm really interested in is thriving, I'd say, in place. Thriving in your home, in your community, and I think you're a great example of that. So I'd love to find out more about you.
I do try and thrive, yes.
Yes, exactly.
That's the right word, yeah.
And as well, I find that the influence that you have on others around you as well, just by your positive energy and everything, is just really, it's very inspiring. So I wanted to speak to you more. So tell us a bit about yourself. So where were you born?
I was born in King's College Hospital in Lambeth, East London. And then when I was about 5, because the war was on then, I was born in 1939, and my dad came home. He didn't see me until I was 5, and then we moved to Sydenham in South East London near the Crystal Palace.
Oh my!
And went to school there, and my dad worked for the post office, and then my uncle said to my dad, if you get a job in Crawley in West Sussex, you can get a house given to you by the council, a 3-bedroom house, because we lived in a little 2-bedroom house with a toilet in the garden, the tin bath hanging up in the garden, really old-fashioned, and even the windows iced up on the inside around the outside. So we came to Crawley and lived in this lovely house in Three Bridges, a borough of Crawley. And I had my own bedroom at last, because I was having to sleep with my little baby brother for 6 years or so. So, it was nice.
Oh, wow.
My own room.
And have you lived in Crawley since then?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes, yeah. I live in a suburb called Broadfield now, but I've lived in a few of the neighbourhoods, because I've been married a couple of times and got rid of both my husbands, but legally, of course.
Oh my! How long have you lived where you live now in your current home?
Oh gosh, I think I was about, it must be 20 odd years. It was 1991 when I bought this little house.
Oh my!
Yeah.
So did you have an empty nest by then? The children had moved out?
Oh yes.
Oh my!
Because it's a little 1-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Bedroom and bathroom upstairs, and cupboards on the landing with mirrored doors, so I can see myself as I walk up the stairs and go, oh dear.
So you mentioned, you have been married a couple of times then?
Yes. My first marriage, I was married to him for 18 years, and we had the children. And my son had always been close to his father, and my daughter had always been closer to me. So by mutual consent, really, he had my son, I had my daughter. And we lived in temporary accommodation because he put our council house in his name when I left him. So I couldn't stay in the house, so we had to go to the council. Luckily, we got temporary accommodation, and then eventually we got a nice council flat. But and then I met my second husband, and he was lovely. He was really nice. He brought all my confidence back, Juliet liked him as well. We were just a happy family, and he had a 3-bedroom council house in Furnace Green, another part of Crawley. And I met him because my sewing machine went wrong, and apparently he was a sewing machine mechanic, and a friend of mine who lived down the road sent him round. He had 3 children, but the daughter was with the wife, ex-wife, and so we had the 2 boys, but we all got on fine. Yeah, it was lovely. And then eventually we'd been on the waiting list, so we got a council flat. So yeah, that was nice. It was right on the top floor, in town almost. I thought, when I was getting on sort of towards retirement age, and I thought, how am I going to get up these stairs, because there was no lift when I'm, and my daughter had her first baby, and we had trouble getting the pushchair up, or the buggy as they call it now. So bought the little house that I'm in now.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm quite happy here. I've got marvellous neighbours.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a nice close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about your work.
Oh, I was a secretary to... I started off life as being just a typist. And then eventually, when I had the children from my first husband, when they went to school, I did agency work. So I used to go around being a typist. And then eventually the agency offered me a job in their office. So I used to interview people. So I got used to that sort of thing. And then I was there for years and years, and then I left my husband when I was there. And I got another job as a secretary. I worked for the Home Office and then left there because it was travelling all the time. And I got a job at a rediffusion simulation, it was called, and they used to make simulators for aircraft. So I learned lots about simulators.
Oh my.
They're great. One of the engineers let me sit in there and fly the plane.
Oh my.
Fly the simulator. And he put us through a storm and then through a hurricane, all sorts of things. It was absolutely brilliant. Scary, but
That must have been so
lovely.
exciting.
Yeah. And I was very happy there. I made lots and lots of friends there.
Oh, that's lovely.
I'm still friends with lots of the girls there.
How many years did you work there?
Oh gosh, I think I started in about 1982 or 83, and I left when I was 60. So you'd have to work that out. Work it out in my head. But I was 60 when I left there, and they did me the most fabulous card. Everybody signed it. The whole of the factory had signed it. It was really great. Beautiful presents. So I had learned how to live on a pension then.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds lovely. And what does your day-to-day look like, would you say?
Oh gosh, I'm always gadding about. Because I've got so many. Still got friends left from school.
Yeah.
Lost a few on the way, of course, and I've got friends from work. I've got 2 groups there's 4 of us, and we meet up every now and again. One of the group of 4, they come to my house, and we have what we call a pizza evening. One of the girls brings pizzas. I supply all the salad and a couple of bottles of wine. She brings the pudding. So we have lovely pizza evenings. I get 2 more chairs down and we pull the table right out and have a lovely evening. And then with the other 4, we go out for meals. The other 4, group of 4, including me, we go out. One of them I lived opposite when I first had my children, and we've been friends ever since. So it's nice, and I've got cousins who live in Maidstone. They'll come down for the whole day, which means my family come as well, my daughter and all my grandchildren. They all come, and it's a bit of a squash, but it's lovely.
Yeah.
And yes, I eat normal meals, The only problem I have is I've got something called polymyalgia, and it's quite painful.
Oh.
So I'm on tablets, steroids, and all sorts of tablets, blood pressure tablets as well. And I have a walking stick, but I manage all right. And I also get from my pension, I'm trying to think what it's called, attendance allowance. And I get £60 every week for that. And that's if I go into town and I get too much shopping and I can't manage it on the bus, I can get a taxi. That's what the money is paid to me for. So
that's wonderful.
It's brilliant. Yeah, we've got a good pension scheme. I get a small pension from work, so I'm not well off, but I manage. Yeah, manage beautifully. So,
and that's a beautiful, like that offer that they have there. That allows you to stay active as well, because you're not concerned about, if I go out and I get too much stuff, how do I get home?
Exactly.
Or it keeps you moving,
Yes, yeah. And my daughter's marvellous. She works from home, and she has to take her work back to Burgess Hill, which is quite a few miles from here. And then she picks up her next lot of work, and she always rings me. I'm her unpaid secretary, and I do her invoices.
Oh, wonderful.
Her, and print them out. So she takes an invoice with her, and she's got a marvellous boss and his wife. They're really nice. So we go to Burgess Hill, and then we pop in somewhere and have a bit of lunch.
Oh, lovely.
As well. And then she'll take me to Sainsbury's, which is a supermarket in Crawley. And I'm able to do all my shopping, and she brings it all in. She phones me every evening to make sure that I'm okay, that I haven't fallen over or,
That's wonderful.
So she's brilliant.
So yes, you can tell me about some of the activities you do. What are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Oh, I used to do lots and lots of craft work, but I'm always too busy. I thought retiring was going to be sitting reading books, doing my knitting, doing my sewing, and make all the craft things that I used to do, and painting. I love painting and writing poetry. I never get time to do any of that these days. But what I did used to do was go to an exercise class. We have a big sports centre, not far from here, and it's called K2. And in amongst all the different classes, there were one for elderly people and exercise class, and I used to love it. It was really, really nice. And we do all the normal stand-up exercises I used to be able to do. But then when COVID came, I did that for 2 years. I used to walk all the way there, and until I got the polymyalgia, and then I couldn't manage it. I could get a bus though. And then, when COVID started, we closed down, and so I couldn't go. And then COVID came back, but the COVID finished, touch wood, hopefully. But then the class, it was still closed down. So I miss that now, but I still see the girls now
lovely.
And again. We'll meet up in town and have a coffee together or a bit of lunch, So
that's good.
It was a great class. Yes, it was great fun. And every Christmas we used to go to a restaurant. It was called Charlie Chan's, a Chinese restaurant. And we used to go there, and every Christmas I used to do a poem just before we went or when we got there, because we used to have a pig money box, like in the shape of a china pig.
Oh, yeah.
And the one who put on the most weight had to put £1 in the pig. I never had to.
Ooh.
No, so that was lovely. But I always put a couple of pounds in at the end of the season, because we'd use the money to buy our instructor her Christmas present card. So I used to when we got there, as I say, I used to do this poem, and I used to buy them all. Marks and Spencer's did little Percy Pigs in a bag, sweeties. So I used to buy them all a bag of Percy Pigs, and they used to love it. They used to look forward to it. So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I see you garden as well, right?
Oh, I garden. Yes, but my grandsons are brilliant. My garden started flooding.
Oh.
And luckily it didn't come up past the patio step. I saved up a bit of money and phoned what do they call them? The drainage specialist.
Right.
Yeah. But they wanted about twice as much as I'd saved up. And I happened to mention it to one of my grandsons, and he said, Nancy, he said, that's what a couple of them call
that's
me.
sweet.
Nancy, he said, we'll do it for you. And they came, and they dug the whole lot up, all over there. They had to put something called a soakaway in, which was about 4 foot by 4 foot, then fill it with 10 bags of gravel. And then, anyway, to cut a long story short, they sorted out all my draining,
that's wonderful,
flooding problems.
Yeah.
And I used to have a nice rockery along there, and one of them said, one of these, I did trip over one of the rocks, and he said, right, that rockery's going.
Yeah.
He said, you could trip over and bang your head.
Yeah.
So that went. So we've sort of between us organised it, and he did all the gravel. I put those paving slabs down, the hexagon ones.
Oh, wow.
And he did the rest of it.
That's wonderful.
They're brilliant.
And you have how many? So you have your son and your daughter, and how many grandchildren is it?
I've got 6 altogether.
Lovely.
Yes, with one girl amongst. So 5 grandsons.
Wow.
And 1 granddaughter. Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I find it very inspiring to speak to someone like you, and I've started, like speaking to different friends as because we're all aging now. I'm Gen X, so we're all like over 50. I'm in a group of women. I work in banking, and I'm in a group of women in banking who all have, we've worded it as we all have experience, expertise, and all that. But basically, we're all over 45, 50 really. And so, aging well, as we start to think about aging, is something that's starting to preoccupy us, and I've been doing a lot of research about it.
It can be scary.
But what would be some of the advice that you could give to women like us?
I think really life is what you make it yourself. I live alone, and there's a lot of people that live alone. There's a lot of elderly people who are absolutely lonely, really lonely. They haven't got a family like I've got. They can't maybe get about. And that must be awful. I can't imagine what that can be like, sitting in a chair, just watching television all day, and not being able to go out, and, having maybe a welfare company bring your shopping to you or bring your food. There's various organisations that cook food and bring it round. You have to pay something, but I've got a bit of a funny fad about eating, so I still would rather cook my own, or my daughter would bring it round. She's brilliant. But not everybody has got children, and that's when it's difficult. I just feel that I'm really, really lucky.
One of the things as well, though, is that you've also built a whole community around you, like your neighbours.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a chatty person, and even when I walk up the road, I've got to know all the dog walkers now. We've got a big forest over the back. With a lake, where I used to take all my young grandchildren when they were little. We used to do nature rambles, but now I talk to the dog walkers who go over there. I wouldn't go over there on my own anymore. And so I've got to know loads of people around this area because of that. And you get on a bus and somebody will sit next to you and they'll say, oh, I thought the bus was never going to come along. And so you start chatting.
Oh, wow.
And it's nice. I see people in town that I've only spoken to on the bus, and they say, "Oh, I haven't seen you for a while. How are you?" And I'd say, "I can't remember your name. How do I know you?" "Oh, on the bus we sat next to each other. My name's Anne," or whatever. No, it's really nice.
That is wonderful. And that's a way, I think, as well.
Lucky.
Yeah, I think that's a way as well of how you stay connected, how you stay a part of the community, and everything as well that you then bring. I mean, I know how much you bring to my sister and her daughter, that's for sure. Being a part of their lives and my brother's life, so...
Yeah. But all my neighbours are like that. They're absolutely lovely, all my neighbours. Yeah, she said, "I've got the best neighbour in the world." And I said, "No, I've got the best neighbour in the world." So it's nice. And even the people that live up that way, just as a little road round the corner, one of them, the garden is next to mine.
Yeah.
So I've got two lots of neighbours in a way. And they're all lovely. We're just lucky that we've got good neighbours.
Yeah.
So, and I think... if you're elderly, if you make a little effort and talk to people that you don't know, you can find that they're quite nice. I mean, when I go and get off the bus, if I've got my shopping trolley that I use, if it's very heavy, last week, a young lad came over. He was only about 16, 17, I think, and he said, "Let me help you with that." And he took my trolley off the bus for me and put it down, and then he nipped back on the bus, which I thought was really nice. And whether it's COVID that's brought all that back, I don't know. But since COVID, I'm finding that people do talk more, which is helpful.
It's nice to be able to just communicate normally with people again. Maybe it brought it home to us, like, you know, having been isolated, having been alone, you know. That's a good point.
I do know a couple of people that had COVID, but luckily they've got through it. But there are people that have been left very insecure by it all. And not been able to talk to their families, or they can't walk anymore. It's a version of COVID. I can't remember what
long COVID they call it.
COVID, that's right. Yeah, one of the announcers on our television, her husband had it, and he eventually died. And, you know, it's so I was lucky I didn't get it. I always had the jabs. And there again, you sit in the waiting room to get your jab, and you start chatting to people. And they chat back, or they start chatting to me, and I chat back. You know, I think talking is what can help people get going. When they're elderly.
I like that so much. So, well, was there anything else you'd like to add at all about, like, you know, those years between 60 and where you are now? Like, you had a beautiful life while you were out working and active and bringing up the children, but now as well, you continue to thrive.
I don't know what the secret is, really. I think, really, it's talking to people. Because if I didn't talk to... I've got to know neighbours that live right down the end there, and I go and have a coffee with them sometimes. And neighbours right up the other side. And one of the neighbours right up the end, opposite we've got a mosque up the end. You've probably seen it. And the neighbour that lives directly opposite, I used to work with him. He was our telecommunications manager. And I didn't know he lived there because he left our company and went to work for the BBC. And I was going to go down the subway one day to walk up to the local shops, and somebody called out, "Val." And I turned round, and it was this fella that worked. So I've got to know him and his wife. And if I'm walking up the road and she's about to go out somewhere, she says, "Oh, come on, I'll drop you off." And so I get lifts now and again. And all the neighbours around here, they say, "Do you want anything up the shops?" if I'm out doing the garden. And, you know, I think it's give and take. She says, "Oh, I've got to be at work today and I'm expecting a parcel. Could you take it in?" So I've got half the neighbours' keys. So I just pop it pop it in the door and put it on the bottom of the stairs and pop out again, and I'd send her a text and I'd say, your parcel's been, it's in. And I'm the one that feeds the cats.
Yes.
I used to feed 2 cats, but unfortunately one has now had to be put to sleep, which is sad. But a young man that lives across the green, whenever he went on holiday, I was over there twice a day, feeding his cat for about 2 weeks.
Oh, lovely.
Of course, the cats all got to know me as well, which is nice. Yes. So, I think that's the secret, really, is just give and take.
Yeah.
I guess.
Super.
I'll probably think of something else better when you finish.
No, but that's beautiful. Thank you so much indeed, Val.
You're welcome.
It's been lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.